Mariners 3-series homestand continuing today. Game 2 of 3. Mariners and the Minnesota Twins. Fun pitching matchup today. Logan Gilbert going for the Mariners hyphen. His last 3 times out, just 1 quality start.
Yeah, and that was back. You talked about early on in this month. The month of July has been kind of interesting. I think for Logan Gilbert, you go back to July 4th. This is where the emphasis on the fastball is more of a, not so much to strike guys out, but more of a priority. And I think it sets every other pitch up, the slider and the split. He was so dominant in this outing against the Blue Jays back on the 4th of July, where he went into the 8th inning. I think he can reserve some of that slider and that split second time, third time through the lineup, being able to get deep into these games.
All right, so keep an eye on that fastball usage today from Walter, who gets the ball in game 2. On the other side of our Western Washington Toyota Dealers pitching matchup, it's the second time for the Mariners facing lefty Connor Prelip. Mariners faced him back in Minnesota in what was his second ever major league start. He's a guy who's had injury history on a little bit of a pitch count, but man, he has got some good stuff.
Really good stuff, and I think the headline for the stuff is definitely going to be the slider. He has developed the curveball. One of the priorities for him, how do we get him deeper into games? He got very slider heavy, where he's trying to get everyone to swing and miss and chase. So all of a sudden that curveball just gives him that other look. You mentioned some of the injuries too. Had to deal with a blister as well. Just came off the IL, dealing with a blister on his middle finger as well, with some of the major arm injuries in his career.
So the lefty Connor Prelip going today for the Minnesota Twins. Twins have a chance for a series win. Julio and the Mariners trying to even the score today. Some Saturday day baseball. Mariners and the Twins from inside T-Mobile Park. First pitch coming up.
When it's time for
this portion of the game is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. By Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, make a play for your health with the Mariners' trusted sports medicine provider. And by Steel, the official outdoor power equipment of the Seattle Mariners. Beautiful blue skies overhead. Mariners and the Twins getting set for game 2. And both teams in the ever-expanding wild card standing slab. Right now, Twins and Guardians even for that 3rd wild card spot. Rangers now a half game outside as they have lost their lead in the division, with the Astros now in first place. Mariners 3 games back. So pretty pivotal series. And by the way, you see the Tigers there. Tigers are coming to town the next series in this homestand beginning on Tuesday. Trevor Larnach leading things off for Minnesota. Ryan Jeffers has been red hot since coming off the injured list earlier in the month of July. Meanwhile, Royce Lewis, first base and batting cleanup, a big home run last night. You can say the same about Brooks Lee. Now at third base, Victor Caratini, their backup catcher, is in there today, batting 7th. It's Logan Gilbert on the mound today, making his 22nd start of the season. And like most Mariners starters, he pitched very well at home this year.
Yeah, he has, and I think too he's been on a nice stretch at home and on the road. Last 11 has a 2.61 ERA, but you look at the pitches. I talked about the emphasis on the four seam, a little bit higher percentage on that pitch. It just makes that splitter and definitely that slider. The usage, by the way, he's still throwing at the same amount when you look at the 23 and the 14% on the split. But I just think it makes it a little bit better when he's a little bit more fastball heavy. We've seen that in his last couple of months.
Here's what it looks like behind Logan Gilbert. Day game after night game. So Mitch Garver doing the catching. Cal Raleigh DHs today for the Mariners. That's the major change for the M's today defensively. And you could not ask for a better day to be at the ballpark as the calendar turns to the month of August. Certainly feels like summer. And even warmer temperatures coming later in this homestand. Trevor Larnach ready to go. Leadoff man for the Twins. Logan Gilbert into the motion. His first pitch today. Just a touch inside for ball 1. Twins winning last night in game 1 of the series. Mariners have a chock full homestand. 3 games against the Twins, a day off on Monday. 3 against the Tigers, and then 3 against the Rays. Part of 50 season celebration. 98 upstairs, 1-1.
That's the other part of this too, maintaining that 97, 98. Matter of fact, every pitch he's thrown lately has been harder. He's made that a priority as well, trying to throw that split and that slider a little harder as well.
Good slider, gets ahead 1-2. Well, the Mariners do have a couple of pitchers this year, Munoz in the bullpen and Gilbert in the rotation, where just on a dime they started throwing harder.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think too with Logan, last year he dealt with some injuries. He's fully healthy this year, and that shows as he's getting deeper into the game, that sustaining that velo when you're talking pitch number 70, pitch number 80.
They put him away. Split finger, strikes out Larnach. That's how the game starts for Logan Gilbert.
This is a tough team to put away. They are very tough with 2 strikes, but this split is absolutely filthy. Just straight down, 86. Good arm speed on that. Really no chance.
Here's Ryan Jeffers. Jeffers missed about a couple of months. He unfortunately broke his hamate bone and had to have surgery on his hand to repair. But since coming back has been excellent. Batting close to 290 in 12 games since coming off the injured list. OPSing close to 900. 99 that time from Gilbert. 0-2.
You get that breaking ball, that mistake, middle of the plate. That's a pitch he's done so much damage against, especially in the strike zone. Really good raw power, hitting 2 in this lineup.
Oh, 2. Able to lay off that slider. Twins winning yesterday 5-3. They slugged 3 home runs. Home plate umpire calling his own time. What's going on here? I mentioned the difficulty of striking the Twins out. Jeffers not a guy who chases much. Did Ortiz say something to Jeffers there, do you think?
I'm trying to.
That was odd.
Yeah, figure this out. Is it the eye contact situation? Wasn't looking up.
Well, it kind of golfs this out to Rosarena in left field, drifting back on, and that ball kept carrying, but Randy makes the catch. 2 down. Well, whatever it was, he flies to left field. 2 up and 2 down. There comes Cody Clemens. 2 of the first 3 hitters in the order for the Twins batting left-handed. It was not a game last night for the Twins of situational hitting. They only had 2 at-bats with a runner in scoring position. They went hitless in both. They left only 3 men on base. But were able to put 5 runs across nonetheless. Oh, and 2. Plenty of swing and miss in this first inning from Logan Gilbert.
Get some of that depth too. Those pitches that have that downward, the slider, sometimes they can get a little horizontal on him. So a couple of pitches going straight down on that split. He punched out Larnach in as well.
On an 0-2. Spikes that slider.
Too much depth.
Garver's okay. One ball and 2 strikes to Cody Clemens. 19 home runs this year. Just missing in. Gilbert trying for a 1-2-3 top of the first. Spoils that pitch foul. Twins within the top 10 in runs per game this year, 9th in baseball. They are not a team that chases a whole lot, and just outside the top 10 in terms of strikeout rate. Derek Shelton, their first-year manager, former Pirate skipper. Man, that's a good-looking beard.
It is.
Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another 2-2. Pesky at bat from Clemens. He gets the count full.
One thing with Logan Gilbert, you heard Angie talking about hunting the ball down from Kevin Seitzer. That's one thing you can do against Logan. Doesn't elevate a whole lot to get that strike 3. It's either the split, slider, or heater down.
Pitch number 8. On the ground. Naylor has it. Gilbert covers. And a 1-2-3 top of the first. Clemens made him earn it. Mariners TV is presented by PIMCO. We go to the bottom of the first. Mariners coming up.
DQ.
Mariners getting set for the bottom of the first inning. Cole Young leading things off once again for the Yims. A home run in last night's game. It was a screamer. 110 off the bat. Canzone batting in the number 3 spot, so 2 of the first 3 batting left-handed against the southpaw Connor Prelip. Julio batting cleanup. Josh Naylor riding an impressive 22-game on-base streak in the number 6 hole. Connor Prelip made his major league debut earlier this year. In fact, his second ever big league start was against the Mariners back in Minneapolis. Cole Young picks up where he left off into the corner. Man, he has crushed Twins pitching this year. Wastes no time to stand up double. The Twins have seen the very best of Cole Young this season.
Yeah, they really have. And this is one of the adjustments was, can you get to that fastball? Look at this. In on the hands, 95. Jumps all over Connor Prelip's first pitch of the game. That nice tight swing. Saw that last night. Laser beam into right field.
Here's a Rosarena. Now Cole Young this year against the Twins, today is his 5th game, is batting now over 400. He is 7 for 16 with a homer and 6 ribbies. Good take just low, 2-0.
Yeah, Connor Prelip coming off the IL before his last start against the Athletics. Had a blister issue. It's pretty much the whole of July. You see the numbers right there. The splits are pretty drastic too. 6.56 on the road ERA compared to a 3.8 at home. Really struggled on the road.
Now Rosarena gets into a 3-0 count right away.
The Twins are extremely high on Connor Prelip. Big time prospect. They should get that first win against the Mariners, that second start.
Randy taking just above the zone and a 4-pitch walk. Same thing happened last night in Rosarena's first at bat. Traffic right away. StatCast powered by Google Cloud, that Prelip arsenal.
Well, the big weapon for him is the slider. We saw plenty of that second outing against the Seattle Mariners. But he started throwing this curveball a little bit, and that was because they wanted him to be a little bit more efficient and get away from just trying to get swing and miss out of the strike zone, find something he can land inside the strike zone. So the mix of that slider and that curveball, not a whole lot of changeups.
Well, that slider looked like it was going to end up somewhere else based on Canzone's body language. 0-1. First and second. Nobody out and off the plate.
Yeah, Yeah, the other thing with Connor Prelip, young pitcher, he's around 90, just over 90 innings, so he is going to be on a bit of an innings limit. It's going to be interesting. The Twins now all of a sudden a factor in this playoff run.
A good take just down and away. Yeah, the IL stint for the blister you talked about going into the All-Star break or thereabouts, maybe actually a good thing for him.
Yeah,
that in mind.
for sure. Give him a breather. He has had some major surgery issues, had 2 Tommy Johns.
96 running away. A case of the reverse splits. Lefties hitting over 300. He has really handled righties. Now, granted, it's just over 80 batters faced on the left side of the plate, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
Back-to-back 3-ball counts. Now that slider is looking like something else, like it's coming in on Canzone, and both times it's caught a lot of the plate. A good take on that slider way outside, so Prelip in some hot water immediately. A double and back-to-back walks. They're loaded up for Julio.
The Mariners have something cooking here early, just like last night, but that's part of the issue with Prelip. Some of these lefties can take advantage. He hasn't had the same command, especially with that slider against lefties. And you know, hearing from some of the Twins people talked about trying to do too much, trying to make that slider too nasty, and all of a sudden he gets in these 3-0, 3-1 counts. That's where you see the damage. So good spot right here for Julio to do something. And keep in mind too, he's fresh off the IL. He only had the 1 walk his last outing, but the command does not look good here early against the Mariners.
That's some big misses at times already. Well, you don't get many chances like this. Nobody out of the bases loaded. Mariners trying to cash in. On the first pitch, ground ball, and it's smothered, now dropped, and everybody is safe. Kreidler couldn't make a play. Julio puts it in play, and the Mariners lead it 1-0.
When you look at this, you think it's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, but this ball was hit hard. We've seen this from Julio since he ever got to the big leagues. He hits the ball hard on the ground. Probably did a good job just to get to this ball, but 92 miles per hour, Kreidler to his left, just couldn't handle it, felt like he had to rush. Just trying to sniff out that double play. You're always taught the infield just out number 1, get the first out. That's big right there for the Mariners.
RBI infield base hit for Julio. Base is now loaded with nobody out for Cal Raleigh. Fouls this away behind 0-2. Mariners in prime position to hang a crooked number in the first inning against a rookie pitcher.
And the other weapon he has with 2 strikes is that little backdoor breaking ball. He likes to throw that to righties. It's another pitch you got to protect against. Try to speed him up.
Boy, I tell you what, from the left side, he can really rush it in there.
Yeah.
We've seen 96 to 98 now already. He's a special arm. You can understand why the Twins are really excited for this homegrown left-handed starting pitcher, something they have struggled to develop from the left side in particular, that is. Nobody out, base is loaded for Cal Raleigh. A wave and a miss off the plate. First out of the inning.
This is his break ball, a little hanging. Break ball, not the best, but you can see Cal just changes his mind halfway through. A little half swing, a little emergency hack. Goes down swing with the bases loaded.
There's Josh Naylor. Naylor last night extended his on-base streak. Now 22 games. It began back on July the 4th. It's the longest active on-base streak in the league, and the second longest in all of baseball. Gabriel Moreno of the Diamondbacks, the only one longer, 27-gamer. Missing at 97 up and in. 1-1. Grand slam for Naylor earlier this year at Camden Yards. Right now he'd settle for just a firm base hit someplace.
And you see Clemens, second base pulled, shifted around a little bit. Big hole right by second base, but Josh Naylor likes to live, especially with 2 strikes.
He calls for time. Arozarena at third. Canzone the runner at second. Julio Speed is at first. Really chasing way off the plate. 2 outs. So some chase on 2 different breaking balls from Prelip to finish the last 2 batters.
This is a nasty break ball, classified as a curveball. We talked about just slowing it's very similar shape, but just slower velocity. That's a big error right there. The Mariners punching out, not putting the ball in play. And they really need it here early.
The former Twin, Mitch Garver. And this gets out of play for strike 1. Cole Young doubled to begin the inning on the very first pitch. Back-to-back walks, Arozarena and Canzone. Julio an infield base hit. Well, the Mariners certainly hoping for more here. Couple of fastballs going right after Garver. 0-2. Mariners suddenly in jeopardy of missing a big opportunity. Three straight fastballs to Garver. You know, rookie trying to pull a Houdini act here. Now, for a team that has been longing for offense, consistent offense in particular, big chance here. The 1-2 stays alive.
And Prelip making some big pitches, man. I'm telling you, you get loaded bases, 9-8, get that mound visit in your head, you start to get, you start thinking to yourself, man, all of a sudden it's about to go off the rails. Here you are, you're a strike away. Now this inning.
Chopping foul. Still 1-2 on Garver. Pitch number 7. Good take.
He tried to put Mitch with the fastball, speed him up at the top of the strikes, and then he went to the break ball a couple times. Mitch able to stay alive in this at bat.
This will be at least a 9-pitch at bat for Garver.
Pitch count approaching 30. Some high stress pitches here out the gates against Connor Prelip.
especially for a guy who they are keeping a very close eye on the pitch count. This is pitch number 9. Prelip barely pitched in college. He made this is remarkable. He made 7 starts as a college pitcher. He threw 28 innings. He had the COVID season in 2020, eventually Tommy John. So 7 starts over 2 years. Tommy John, and then later the brace procedure. So they are very careful with him. This is the 10th pitch to Garver. And he takes low. Full count. A couple of really close takes down from Garver this at bat.
A big pitch coming here. Obviously 3-2, 2 outs. He felt like Prelip had made some big pitches. You get so hyper focused. Try and claw your way out of this inning. Now he's on the ropes all of a sudden. 3-2.
Here it comes. He goes upstairs, misses high. A bases loaded walk from Mitch Garver. An 11th pitch at bat for the Mariners catcher.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, that does so many things. First of all, you get down with 2 big strikeouts to your big guys in Cal and Josh Naylor. So you're coming up to the plate, you get quickly down 0-2, and you keep fighting. And you put Prelip in a spot where he has to make a pitch. He's unable to do it. Absolutely exhausted out there on the mound. 31 pitches deep.
Wilson swings and misses.
Guys, that was just huge to be able to come away with another run here in the first inning, you know, particularly with all the traffic that they've been able to put on the bases without any outs. To come away empty after that would have been huge, but good to see from the Mariners, who have struggled in this recently. So important.
And not to mention, too, down in that dugout, man, you have a situation, you just get the 1 run, you walk back, you think to yourself, man, here we go again, lost another opportunity, but all of a sudden some high fives and some energy in that dugout. That second run.
This will be at least a 35 pitch first inning for Prelip right out of the gates. And their bullpen is already up and moving.
Now you figure you hit that 30 pitch threshold, usually 30 pitches in 1 inning. Start getting some movement in the bullpen.
And this is something we saw yesterday, guys, long at bats.
Well, the Mariners certainly were hoping for more, but they are grateful for the 2. Julio an infield base hit, Garver a bases loaded walk. All things considered, Prelip avoids major damage. Mariners TV is presented by PIMCO, the insurance you get. Learn more at PIMCO.com. Royce Lewis leads it off. Fastball right over the plate at 97.
Well, Logan had plenty of time to wait for this second inning. And get that rhythm quick. Nice little shutdown here after getting the 2 runs in the first.
You want some trade deadline-y news?
Let's hear it. Why is it just deadline-y?
Well, you'll see. The Angels starting pitcher tonight, Jose Soriano, has been scratched. A major trade candidate. I mean,
that's big news, right? That's not,
yeah. I mean,
I thought you were going to give me, oh, hey, someone, the Twins AA
they
second
pulled their
baseman.
starter. Is being hugged in the dugout. The Angels have never been sellers, right? They always hold, even if they are well out of it, which they unfortunately for them have been at the deadline for the better part of the last decade or so, close to it. But it's different now. John Mozeliak, the interim GM, they fired Perry Manazian, their previous GM, a short while ago. So Mo comes in and is clearly making some changes. Already made 1 deal with the Rangers, dealing Chase Silseth and Logan O'Hoppe, and maybe Soriano.
You mentioned the fact they've never been sellers. I mean, Artie Moreno's always kind of been that guy who's never wanted to sell off. Menese's had to deal with that. I think Mozeliak's probably come in and said, look, if I'm coming in to this at this point in the season, you gotta give me some room to work here, and it's exactly what it looks like they're doing.
Yeah, it's not clear exactly what Mozeliak's role will be after this season. Yeah. If he will be the GM going forward, will he be more of an advisor type? Will he not be part of the organization? But for the short term, he's the one calling the shots, other than Artie. 2-2. Hit hard on the ground. That's tough, and it eats up Weston Wilson. This will turn into a double for Royce Lewis. That ball was smashed.
This ball just ended up in the middle of nowhere out there in shallow center field. And it took a different angle too. Look, situation like this, usually Randy's going towards where the ball's hit. The ball quickly changes angle, but man, that eats up Weston Wilson. Tell you what, Royce Lewis, since coming back from that little AAA stint, made some adjustments. You saw him go deep last night. Some hard contact here early in game 2.
And steps Brooks Lee, a home run last night. And he goes after the first pitch, slugs this out to the gap in right field, and it's caught on the run by Canzone. Lewis tags. Lee able to move the runner, but he certainly was hoping for more off the bat.
This is a nice catch right here. This ball is deep in right center field, and look at Canzone, straight line to the ball, didn't really take his eyes off it. That's a big out right there. That gets over Dom Canzone's head. All of a sudden, obviously the run scores. You've got more traffic, cuts the lead in half.
So runner 90 feet away with 1 out. Luke Keeschel, the batter. Some hard contact against Gilbert, first 2 batters here in the second.
Goldie, was you telling me Royce Lewis had his bobblehead night and they moved it?
Oh, that's right, yes. Well,
but then they had one down in AAA. Sorry.
So
confusing everyone.
Royce Lewis, who was beloved in the Twin Cities, former first-round draft pick, obviously, for the Twins, and has been through a lot in his career, multiple injuries, and has at times been brilliant, other times has really struggled.
And he's a big personality too.
I think he's very well liked and is very active in the community. It really seems like he's everything you kind of want from a guy who's homegrown, or any player for that matter. He's at third base with 1 out. The 1-1. Took his helmet off. 1-2. So the Twins scheduled a Royce Lewis bobblehead night, and then Royce was optioned down to AAA. So he's down with the St. Paul Saints, and then the Saints say, you know what, we are going to have Royce Lewis. I think it was a T-shirt night.
Okay.
And the day that they were supposed to have Royce Lewis T-shirt night, he gets sent back to the Twins. They're always zigging and zagging in the wrong spot. Yeah. Hopefully the good people of the Twin Cities at some point get all these T-shirts and bobbleheads of Royce.
I had a similar situation to that. I was hosting a golf tournament, Mariners golf tournament, and it was for charity. It was a cystic fibrosis golf tournament, and myself, and I was co-hosting it with Mark Lowe, and I was kind of taking the reins on it. Now I got optioned down. The tournament's in like a week and a half. I'm like, there's no way I'm coming back up for that. So I did come back up here as Tacoma Rainiers, host of the tournament. No, I didn't. But it was awkward. I'm not going to lie.
At least you guys were in Las Vegas or something.
That's true.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Splitter. That's been working so far today from Logan Gilbert, as it often does.
It really has. And again, we talked about the emphasis on the hitter. He's been going slider split a ton against these Twins. Now, when you have the kind of depth that he's getting with that split, you lean on that pitch heavy. I remember his last outing here at home was against the Giants, and it kept flashing up changeup on the StatCast and up on the board here. And I asked Mitch Garver, I said, what was with all the changeup? Because then that was splits. So, interesting. Because it was that good, he was able to command that pitch. Usually that changeup's a pitch you could throw more in the strike zone, doesn't have all that crazy movement, that's a little tougher to control. But Mitch Garver said he had such good command of that pitch that it was showing up in the strike zone, and he was getting mistaken as a changeup.
Very unique for a pitcher to have both.
Yeah, it really is.
Changeup new for Gilbert this year.
Yeah, his emphasis coming out of spring training was trying to induce weaker contact. He's messing with that cutter again. We saw that a little bit last year. He's going to shelve that pitch.
Last year, this really showed up for Logan. He didn't really have a put it in play kind of pitch.
Yeah. Right. And we've talked about this with guys who come to town, especially. We talked about this with Dylan Cease. You know, the one thing with him, one of the best pitchers in baseball, gets a ton of strikeouts, but you know, it's something where, yeah, yes, you want to get deep into the game, but if your bread and butter is getting swings and misses like that, lean into it.
Oh, the splitter again. Gilbert, nice job. Strands that go ahead, that leadoff double rather, over at third base. Seeing double with a Washington Lotteries win, you can get a vacation home and another one when you need a vacation from your vacation. Imagine that. Play today. What do you think? Is that they put a ruler up there? How do you get a straight line like that on a beard?
The point? I don't know. I think you grow a little more around the chin.
I mean, was Derek Shelton born to be a manager? Look at that.
Look at that. Yeah.
Get over here. You got to run that out. Look at my beard. He was actually.
I mean, he's never not had a beard, right? I mean, no, I'm not asking you to look back.
Grade school, yeah. I think he's born with that, actually. Colt Emerson leads it off. He was formerly in the organization. He, of course, was the Pirates manager more recently and was let go. Don Kelly now running things there in Pittsburgh with Christopher Negron as his bench coach, former Mariners third base coach. But Shelton was the bench coach for the Twins under previous regimes, both for Paul Molitor and also for their former manager, Rocco Baldelli. 2 balls and a strike. Colt Emerson leading things off. Short left field. Shortstop Kreidler out. 50 season celebration weekend is coming up. Don't act like that, Hyphen. Hyphen's all like, oh, we're going to show this again. He's actually like turning his back and pumping his fist. Let's go. Rays are in town. You know what's going on. Alumni Home Run Derby. It's going to take place about 15 minutes after the game is over. Ichiro will be there putting on a show. Ryan Healy will be there. Stephen Romero, go Beavs. He will be there. Bucky Jacobson, Mike Cameron. What, Junior and Nelson Cruz will be the captains. Is one of them in particular captaining you?
I'm not too sure yet. I know they had some information in the press box. It's funny, they had the list of guys who were doing it with the amount of career home runs. It just had 0 home runs. I'm like, really?
They could have at least turned your column to base hits.
Yeah, there you go.
You have one of those, right?
No, I've got 0.
Oh, no. You put it in play, though.
Yeah, you set me up for that, didn't you? No, I put some balls in play.
Didn't you get a good ground ball off a Cardinal starter? Is that who it was?
Jeff Supine?
Supine, yeah, Soup.
That's right. A little sinking fastball, but a couple hits.
But man, it was hit hard, though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I was running back to the dugout. He said, hey, man, you really hit that. I was like, yeah.
He said it's bad luck is what that is.
Matter of fact, and then I remember the next inning or whatever, just after that, he comes up, hits a double off me.
No, he didn't.
I swear, I promise you.
You take the air out of him the next time?
Oh, man.
2 balls, 2 strikes, Cole Young. He doubled earlier. Kreidler, busy man this inning, right by the bag. 2 outs.
Well, just like that, Connor Preeley threw 30+ pitches in that first inning. They had the bullpen going. Again, young, big-time prospect who they're trying to look after. He's hitting that innings limit for the 2026 season. He's able to salvage his pitch count a little bit now. All of a sudden, 44 in a second.
Yeah, I wonder how a young pitcher in particular looks at that first inning. On one hand, exhausting, 35 pitches, as you mentioned, 8 batters. you gave up 2 runs. On the other hand, man, it really showed a lot. He didn't give it all up.
Yeah, that's true. Made some big pitches. But you could tell when Mitch Garver kept fouling off those pitches. You put him in a position where he went from having that hyper-focused, getting through Cal, Josh Naylor making some big pitches, but man, it gets to a point where the high stress starts to get to you, and then you get that feeling like, man, anything I'm going to throw in the middle of the strike zone, he's going to put a good swing on it, being Mitch Garver, and then he misses the final pitch. You can see the reaction off him too, but he'll push him out of this game.
Check swing foul.
I think pitching deeper into games, I mean, guys want to, obviously, but it's one of those ones, man. You go 5th inning, you see someone warming up, you're feeling like, man, like I can't go 5 and dive here. You got to go at least 7, right?
Smashed high left field. How far will it carry? And it's gone. Towering home run from Randy Arozarena. 3-0 Mariners lead.
Well, Randy with 2 strikes. We talked about Preeley trying to wiggle his way. Let's get out of that first inning, then all of a sudden salvage the pitch count. And Randy gets something he can handle middle in. Puts his hands inside. It's a towering fly ball, just enough to have that left field wall into Edgar's.
Canzone fouls the first pitch back. Randy with the trident. Yeah, he's playing it well. All-star season for Randy Arozarena. Oh, and 2 on Canzone. He walked earlier. So the Mariners scoring in each of the first 2 innings here today. And Preelip already over 50 pitches. Still 2-2. He's challenging Canzone, a couple of heaters.
Yeah, he's staying way away. A total of that 96, 97 with that breaking ball. Canzone staying on it.
Trying to find something a little more over the plate. Well, that was, but a curve is grounded over to second base to retire the side. Another run for the Mariners. Arozarena with a moonshot of a home run way up there and just enough to get out to left field. 3-0 Mariners. Loving it here inside T-Mobile Park. They brought their own tridents here today to the ballpark. Randy Arozarena, a home run. Now 3-0 Mariners. Right, Kreidler. Julio cutting across. This carries back to the warning track, and Julio makes the catch, splatters up against the wall. And hopefully he is okay, man. He banged his head hard on that. Obviously the concussion IL not too far in the rearview mirror for him. Looks like he is okay. Dynamite catch. Our All-State good hands replay. Julio up against the wall.
Man, this ball just kept drifting. Yeah, that right center gap. Julio able to stay with it. Bounce off the wall. But you're right, Goldie. Remember that concussion? The ball off the back of the helmet. He's been dealing with that.
J-Rod squad loving it. Here's Austin Martin. Wilson back a half step, squares over to first, pumps a heater that way. 4 pitches and 2 outs. Message out from Papa Murphy's.
Great pizza doesn't have to cost a fortune. Summer selects at Papa Murphy's are just $8.99 all summer long. We make it fresh. You bake it hot. Papa Murphy's, the way pizza should be.
2 up and 2 down, top of the order. Here comes Larnach.
They punch out Larnach on that really good split to start the game. So a lot of sliders, a lot of splits. And Logan Gilbert, this nice little stretch. We talked more about the fastball, having that more of a priority, but today a lot of the secondary pitches.
There was a report earlier today that the Astros and Twins were all but at the goal line for an agreement on a trade between Brian Abreu, Astros closer, and Trevor Larnach, but that it was scratched at the last moment by Astros ownership, Jim Crane.
That was when? What? Today?
That was announced earlier today.
Wow.
The Twins have one of the better outfield prospects in baseball at AAA, Walker Jenkins. And there were some who thought that Jenkins would be called up just the other day when Byron Buxton landed on the injured list, but he was not. Swinging bunt, Gilbert with the bare hand to first base. And a 1-2-3 inning spun by Logan Gilbert.
Hey, Kevin.
Coming up on Wednesday, it's Jimothy night here at T-Mobile Park, presented by Farmers Insurance. You can celebrate everyone's favorite raccoon with an exclusive giveaway. First 20,000 fans will take home, yes, a Jimothy rookie card. Mariners.com/tickets. You can't stop talking about Jimothy.
You don't me? Or
who do you think I'm talking to? I'm looking at you.
You meant everyone.
I'm looking at you and I said you.
Hey, I'm going to be honest.
Jimothy guy.
I only found out who he was a couple of days ago when you guys read that promo down in LA. I was sitting there at the table having some food, watching you guys. I was like, wait, who?
You're like, honey, what's this raccoon? Did Amanda catch you up to speed on everything?
Yeah, she did. We sat there and got on Google. Interrupted a nice dinner.
Jimothy's taking over.
Yeah.
I'm glad we helped make it a part of your dinner table conversation. Over to third base, Brooks Lee. We apologize for the strike zone issue that is not showing up on your TV. We're working on that. Hope to get that resolved as soon as possible. 1 down. Here comes Cal.
Cal last at bat, struck out with the bases loaded. Little, they call it hanging breaking ball, but a missed breaking ball out and away. They're chasing.
Hits this on the button, a one-hopper, fielded well by Kreidler, picks himself up. That's a nice play. That ball was tagged. 105 off the bat, but to the wrong spot.
I get those hands extended. A little top spin on this ball. Rather able to keep this ball in the infield. 5 off the bat. He's been busy. Shortstop.
2 down for Josh Naylor. Now this is a very opposite inning compared to the first for Connor Prelip. 5-pitch inning. Yeah, 5 pitches. Retires the side in order. Mariners lead, however, after 3. Oh, fun stuff on our Blue Moon bright spot. Yes, he's done it again. Cade Anderson dominant. 4 2/3, 2 hits, scoreless, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 73 pitches. This year, a 1.20 ERA.
Wow, unbelievable.
119 punch-outs, a dozen walks in AA Arkansas.
It's amazing. I mean, we were talking about him. You know, look, it's talking late May. Okay, that's one thing. But when you get to these kind of months where I'm sure the humidity is through the roof, it's hot.
It was
stuff, sometimes can deplete a little bit, but he just keeps going.
And in Midland last night. So yes and yes. Very hot. The Midland, Odessa, Permian Basin. Great high school football town. Ryan Jeffers leads it off. You know, if you look at the numbers for Cade Anderson.
Are they still the Rockhounds?
I believe so.
Okay.
Since high school, which I know we don't normally say like a player since high school, but 2 years at LSU and now 1 year in pro ball. 1-1. That's a strike. Since high school, Cade Anderson has a 2.63 ERA at one of the premier college programs in America and at AA. He has walked 67 batters while striking out 358. Up the middle, Young right by the bat gets to it before it hits second base. Jeffers retired. Since high school,
that's amazing.
I'll continue. He has a 38% strikeout rate.
Oof.
I mean, he's striking out almost 40% of the batters he's faced since becoming a SEC starting pitcher and then transitioning to pro ball.
It's one thing if you were like, okay, first year of pro ball, he's pitching the complex league.
Great point, yeah.
It's still, it's really good. Obviously, LSU. He's pitching just 2 levels below the major leagues, and he's getting that kind of those kind of numbers. Unbelievable, man.
You know, the wild thing too is he is not a top pitching prospect like we normally see. Right? He's not a 98 to 100.
Yeah, he's not 6'8" throwing 102 like a Mizorowski.
Yeah, with a 92 mile an hour slider.
Right. He can pitch though, man. I mean, we see the highlights pop up for good reason all the time here on our broadcast, and the pitch ability. He likes Max Fried. That's someone he looked up to. Watch the way he went about his business. But I mean, I looked at him like a Cole Hamels. Someone he looked just so much like Cole Hamels. That was my comp for him.
3-0 on Clemens. And what reminded you of Hamels?
Just the same delivery. You know, mechanically looked the same. He had that changeup. I noticed that changeup right away. Yeah, I know with you know, Cade Anderson, he throws 3+ pitches, but whether or not the changeup's going to be that biggest weapon as a secondary pitch, but that's for Cole Hamels. That's the way it was. But just the way he looked on the mound, the way he went through his delivery, and you know, the really good changeup I noticed right away. I see the Max Fried, you know, a little bit, but you know.
You're more of a Hamels guy.
I am.
3-1.
By the way, too, you mentioned, you know, Round Rock and Midland, Texas. I never forget. You know, been in the U.S. for a couple of years, and everyone's talking about high school football in Texas. I'm like, yeah, I know it's a big deal. I remember the first time I ever went to play Round Rock, you know, in Midland, and we're pulling up. I'm looking, and I'm like, man, they got a really nice stadium. Look at that thing. I mean, it was big, man. I'm talking like the facility. It looked like it could have been a college level.
You're talking about the high school football stadium next to the Rockhounds ballpark?
Yeah, well, I'm driving up, going, man, I thought it was the Rockhounds. I'm like, double A. Wow. I'm like, oh, this looks nice. Right, drove straight past that thing. Someone said, no. Yeah. That's high school football. Our double A facility's right down the road. He's like, oh, I see.
Never mind.
Yeah. I guess high school football in the state of Texas is a big deal.
A challenge coming here from Garver. That looked like a pretty good pitch. We'll find out. ABS is powered by T-Mobile. Trying to flip this walk to a strikeout. And he does.
Now that was big. Now look at 3-2 count especially. Obviously Logan's not trying to walk anyone. Paints this 97 down and away. Executes. And you get your guy behind the dish, Mitch Garver, making sure he gets paid off for it.
Garver's been one of the best in the game with the ABS. Royce Lewis, the batter. Right back, it hits off of Gilbert, man, and he is down. That was 107 off the bat. And it got him in the leg someplace. That retires the side, but the concern is on Gilbert's leg.
And as we're looking at him, you think you're waiting for that little smirk or that smile back to the dugout, but we didn't see it. Ooh. Oh. And he's still not getting off the ground. We're watching the replay. There he goes.
A 1-2-3 inning, but how is Logan Gilbert, and will we see him again today? Man.
It's another.
Here's what it looked like in real time.
Oh. Man, that ball was hit hard. With that Royce Lewis with all that extra velo, but I was waiting for that little smile towards the dugout as Dan Wilson was walking. It took him a long time to get to his feet. But this is the time right now as he's sitting in that dugout or up in that training room where the swelling starts to hit pretty hard and he gets really stiff. The thing is with that, you look at that and think, well, you know, look, it's not an arm issue or anything like that, but you end up pitching around that leg. And that's where the issues can be in regards to worrying about some sort of injury.
Nothing in two as Garver calls for time. 10-pitch bases loaded walk his last time at the plate. 3-0 Mariners.
Guys, Logan Gilbert went down below, but that really isn't that odd. He usually does that. Trent Blank went down with him. Trent Blank just came back up.
This is in the air out to left field. Larnach in the sunshine. Well, we were curious if maybe the call would have been made, and to get somebody up, nobody is up yet. So Royce Lewis making sure that Gilbert's okay. Man, I'm sorry, brother. Gosh. Garver is out. Here is Wilson.
It's a great sign, the fact the bullpen hasn't moved at all. The Mariners bullpen, that is. I mean, we'll see though. I mean, you don't really know until he gets back out on the mound and starts throwing his warm-up tosses, how that feels.
So you're saying that there's a tendency that you maybe start compensating in some form?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, pitching around the issue, right? I took one, Mark Teixeira hit the ball back at pretty much the same spot off my shin. I felt fine sitting out in the dugout. You get back out and it's that front leg. It was a front leg for me. And just all that pressure on that front, on that lead leg. Man, it was stinging. I stayed in the game then, Goldie. I wasn't coming out.
I don't doubt it. I mean, it was a CG after that, right?
That's right.
2-2.
Yeah, but if you start manipulating that delivery a little bit, you can put more of a strain or stress on the upper half and that elbow, that shoulder. You don't want that to happen.
Big wave and a miss at a changeup off the plate. 2 down. Well, that third inning for Prelip was a get right kind of inning. 5 pitches to retire the side in order. He sat down the first 2 here in the 4th.
Yeah, look at that. 35 pitches in the first inning. They had the bullpen moving around, then 20 in the second. Gave up that home run to Randy. Decided he's gotten in the groove. The Mariners been really aggressive these last couple of innings.
2 outs and nobody on for Colt Emerson.
I'm a little surprised the Mariners nothing moving in that bullpen. You don't really know until he gets back out there. But at the same time, you don't want someone getting loose just on standby and then having to, burn some of those warm-up pitches. They're not coming in the game either.
Guys, Logan just came back out from underneath and is hanging out with his catcher, Mitch Garver.
Well, that's good to hear. Over to second base, Clemens. Side retired. 1-2-3 for the second straight inning from Connor Prelip. 4 complete. Mariners have the lead. Logan Gilbert with a smile. There it is. Runs out to the mound. Looks pretty spry.
Without
Logan Gilbert threw 4 scoreless innings, 10 swings and misses.
Yeah, we talked about the slider and the split being more predominant today. Not seeing as many 4 seams. Still the 3 swing and misses, but the slider and the split have been good. He's got that good depth, downward action to both of those pitches.
Brooks lead the first man to bat here in the 5th for the Twins. Is there something that you would be looking for besides him gripping his leg that would indicate that he is being affected by that one hopper off of his shin?
I mean, the 2 obvious ones are velocity and command. So they spread those first 2 pitches through a 95, but that was 98. I think the biggest thing too, that's big right there, get that first out. It's just that blood flow. You see Josh now kind of laughing at him as he's running down to first base. It's going to take a little bit, right? So you've been sitting down or doing whatever he's been doing up the tunnel, maybe in the training room. But this kind of honestly kind of helps you out, right? Unless you've been having an awkward step over there, but you see Josh now kind of laughing at him as if to say, really? He's kind of hopping, but yeah, he's feeling it, man. You can tell. But just some of that blood flow is going to help, especially in this 5th inning, trying to get into that rhythm with a different feel of that lower half because you're dealing with cold or bruise down there on that shin.
Smoked. Keishel got all of this one, and it is gone. Into the bullpen. First run today for Minnesota. 3-1 Mariners.
We saw Keishel hit that big double last night. And runner scored from first base to go ahead late in the game. Just jumping all over this pitch. He's doing some damage to heaters too. A guy who can hit the ball to right field really well, this time left field with some power. A 95 middle of the plate, got all of it.
Here's Victor Caratini. Veteran switch hitting catcher. Batting with 1 out and a run in. Twins with 3 home runs in last night's game. Fastball for a strike, 2-2. Two coming. On the ground, Emerson gets to it with time. 50 season celebration weekend almost here. Ichiro headlines the Alumni Home Run Derby August 7th. Top 50 greatest Mariners unveiled in a legendary ceremony the next day on the 8th. And then fans, you can score an exclusive pin August 9th on Sunday. Final day of the homestand. Mariners.com/50. We hope to see you here. Mariners coming into play today, 3 games outside of first. And the good news is that one of those other 2 teams will lose today and tomorrow. They're going head to head. Astros with a big win, lopsided win last night to take over first place. It does feel like in this homestand you are only afforded so many losses if you are the Mariners.
Yeah, we talked
you need a big
night.
homestand
Yeah,
here.
You really do. The Tigers coming in. Starting the series on Tuesday. And the Rays, you know, they're going to be tough. You know, with some new additions.
Off day Monday. That is also the trade deadline. One and 2. I believe the deadline is 3 p.m. Pacific on Monday. Just foul over by third. Which is great. There'll be no distractions for any player. If anyone from the Mariners is traded, you'll just be sitting at home.
That's right.
Staring at your phone all day.
It is very odd, guys, to have it land on an off day. Like, you know, you finish the game on Sunday and you can come back on Tuesday and have, you know, a different face, a different look in the clubhouse.
Off day certainly makes it interesting. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. That splitter's been dialed today from Logan Gilbert. Twins get their first run, the Keishel homer. 2-run lead for the Mariners. The insurance you get brought to you by PIMCO Insurance. Best record in July. The Red Sox had that incredible 15-game winning streak, 21-4 in the month of July. Orioles and Tigers and these Twins, of course, playing very well. 15-9 and a resurgent month for Minnesota. Meanwhile, the Mariners are happy to have a new month begin. It was not a strong month of July, to put it mildly. Cole Young leads it off.
Hey, think about the Twins. I mean, going back to when we were in Minnesota.
Another base hit for Cole Young.
Yeah, I know that was early, but from then you kind of trail some of those teams you just saw in the next couple of months, and really nothing doing. You didn't think they were going to be a factor, but all of a sudden they are in the Central. Again, look at Cole Young just wearing out that right center field gap. When he had to get right after that tough month of May, talked about just trying to backspin balls to that spot right there, right in that right center gap.
His 23rd multi-hit game today. Randy Homer's last time up. Fighting the sun a little bit. Keishel makes the catch, former infielder. Did you ever use the calendar flipping to a new month as a positive for yourself?
Yes. A lot of guys break the season down in different parts, and a lot of guys, myself included, you have a tough month. You're coming out of the month of July where you scuffle a little bit and you see the calendar reset, and just a mental reset as well. Man, the season can be such a grind. I remember too making that transition from the minor league season, which used to be 5 straight months, and that extra month added on. You look ahead and you go, man, when you got to the big leagues, man, the adrenaline's through the roof. You're trying to make a good start every 5th day. And so you use those months to say, all right, in this month I want to accomplish A or B. You know what I mean? Like I want to be better at getting better counts or getting that breaking ball. And you used to use that and break it up that way. Some guys would break it up, especially in the bullpen, in lots of 10 outings. So like, okay, I want to put up a 0 in this next chunk of games. This next 10, I'm going to have this run. And you try and play these little mental games in your head to break up that long season.
You know, I remember John Smoltz saying one time when, of course, he was a starter, then went to the bullpen, became a closer. He broke it up into 9-inning chunks, and he would try to throw a 9-inning shutout. Like, that's how he thought about it.
You mean when he went to the bullpen? When he went to the bullpen.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I mean, he's going one inning outings every time.
Right.
So he's trying to string 9 in a row together. I mean, he still has this starter's mentality of a complete game. And so now he's taking that to the bullpen in 1-inning increments over 9. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Kind of a different way to break it up.
Yeah, I had a teammate, Chris Rietzma, right hand. He was a setup guy. And he used to, if he'd give up a run, he'd press the reset button and say, okay, now I'm shooting for 10. I'm going for 10 straight innings or 10 straight outings of a 0. Yeah, those little mental games you play in your head. But definitely, yeah, when the month flicks over and you see it, first of all, it's the month of August. All right, what am I going to do in the month of August? We try and anchor on what you did. Last August, you remember you had that really good month. So hey, I remember last August, man, I got through some struggles and it went off.
3-2 to Canzone. Draws a walk, his second today.
And the guys look at their numbers too, and a lot of times the splits, you look at the splits and you see what you did in that month chunk, so you can easily access MLB.com and say, oh, the month of July, this is what I did. And so you can chunk it up that way too.
You didn't have your Fangraphs split leaderboard bookmarked?
Hey, listen, when I hear players say, oh, I haven't really looked at it, it's like, come on. Yes, yeah.
You're not buying it?
Hey, the worst was when you give up like 4 or 5 runs in the start. You're waiting for, you go inside, you're waiting for it to update your ERA. You just wait to see what the damage has been. Yeah. But again, you can't get too caught up in the numbers, obviously, but using that calendar helps for sure.
Julio sends this deep the opposite way, but in front of the warning track, it's caught. Young tags and tiptoes into third. Good pitch to hit for Julio. Sends it deep but not deep enough.
Well, it's pretty amazing that Prelude's still in this game in the 5th. 83 pitches. He's approaching nearly 60 pitches after the first 2 innings. Was 30 plus in the first. A lengthy second inning. Look at that, 20 pitches. Anderson back up again.
Getting that pitch count put in his hat. LaTroy Hawkins, new bullpen coach, working on that pitch comm. Yeah, great big league career. Pitch forever.
You've seen him pop up everywhere for the last few years. Bullpen coach, done some broadcasting in the booth. I saw him with, I think it was Team Brazil, maybe, down in the World Baseball Classic qualifier, doing some stuff with
Really?
Oh, yeah. All over the map.
That's strike 1 to Cal Raleigh. Way outside. Now the Mariners looking for a knockout punch here for Connor Prelip. It has been a real mixed bag for the rookie lefty today. Prelip threw 35 pitches in the first, but since the third, he's been mostly cruising.
Yeah, Marin's been really aggressive since that 5-pitch inning. And for a guy who didn't look like he had really good command really at all in that first, walking in a run.
Slider strikes out Cal Raleigh. Prelip able to go 5 today despite that taxing first inning, and he strands him on the corners. 2-run game. Today's AutoZone Road Ahead. What's coming up? Day baseball, of course, tomorrow on Sunday. Day off on Monday, trade deadline day. Tigers for 3, Rays for 3. Make note, Friday's game on Apple TV. Of course, Saturday, 50 season celebration, top 50 players in franchise history will be unveiled, and then a really tough road trip beginning. National game in New York on ESPN. Game 2 of that series against the Yankees. First pitch found away from Austin Martin. New York, Houston, and Milwaukee, the next road trip. Broken bat skimmer. Wilson has it. 1 away. A word from AAA Washington.
At AAA, you already know we got cool trucks, but did you know we also have insane insurance? AAA Washington, become a member today.
This will be the 3rd time through the order for Logan Gilbert. Here's Trevor Larnach. Nate. That was close.
I love that you guys are just worried about Nate, not Angie at all. Okay, not Angie at all. Just Nate. I'm glad you're okay, Nate.
Well, Nate's the bodyguard down there.
He's a human shield.
Larnach, deep right field, and just gone. Second solo home run today for the Twins. They pull within a run.
There's 102 off the bat. You thought the ball's carrying a little bit. We saw Julio catch that ball off the wall. Kept drifting. But this is a pitch that Larnach has struggled with the changeup and the split. Any off-speed pitches he's had a really tough time with. You can see Logan trying to wear him out. But that pitch is too much at the plate. And all of a sudden it's a 1-run game.
So 1 out, a run in. Here is Jeffers.
Well, very similar to last night. The Mariners put up 3 runs in the first 2 innings. And really nothing after that. Last night punching out 9 times. 3rd inning onwards. Just the 1 hit.
Mariners finished the game last night with 1 hit in their last 23 at-bats. One and 2.
Logan still only 74 pitches in the 6th, 1 out. He has been looking good. We talked about this stretch, the last 11 coming into this game, 2-6-1. He's really good that last 25% of that pitch count. 3rd time through. Still 97.
3-2. Emerson has a chest tie on a bounce. 2 down. Today's Overlake Medical Center and Clinic's health report. Twins doing all this recently without their center fielder Byron Buxton, who was placed on the IL recently. A hip issue that's been causing him some problems for a while now at this point.
I mean, he's been on and off in regards to the IL for Byron Buxton. You think, man, you always wonder what kind of year he could put up if he had the full 162. Such a good athlete, and what a huge loss that is for the Twins right now when they're making the surge.
One-0 to Clemens. This is drilled down the line and foul. He turned on that one.
Yeah, he did. He's a guy you can get to chase if it's elevated, but this is a pitch. He's a really good mistake hitter. This pitch is middle in, straight loop zone. Just going foul.
Three and one now. Back-to-back 3-ball counts from Gilbert. Got him. 3-2. Wants a new ball. Struck him out looking earlier on a fastball, a good one at that at 97. More good fastball velo today from Gilbert. He's been averaging 97 on the heater, something you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it's been sustainable too. As the game gets on, I'd love to see him get that split below the strike zone right here and get that strikeout.
Twins have pulled within a run thanks to Larnach's homer this inning. Three-two. Walked him. Two-out walk to Clemens. Pete Woodworth on his way out.
Yeah, this is all for Logan Gilbert. The bullpen not getting loose. It's not a stall tactic right here to get someone going in that bullpen. Still, there's only 2 outs. 84 pitches here in the 6th. Just trying to get him back dialed in. Probably checking in on that leg as well. Took the ball off.
So 2 outs, a man at first base for Royce Lewis. Down to the Ford Sports Desk. Ange.
Guys, I'm focused on Royce's swing. It's really kind of crazy how he goes backwards. Watch his back leg. Usually we see a guy stride forward. He goes back before he goes forward. This is something he actually started doing after ACL surgeries. He used to have a big front leg kick, but after the surgery, it's really hard on his body, so he went away from that. And this is something he came up with, messing around in the cage. It felt like he had more balance and momentum going forward by doing it.
Interesting. Sometimes you have to move backwards
to go forward.
To go forwards.
That's right.
Hey,
that's right, Aaron.
You know, with hitting, you've got to have your timing mechanism, and for him, Hey, it works. I actually asked Seitzer about this. I'm like, you ever see anybody? He goes, sometimes guys will do it in the cage, but they usually don't take it out on the field with them.
Yeah, it's a pretty typical like hitting drill, the step back drill.
Yeah, of course.
You've been working on that?
Oh yeah, it's part of my routine.
So you can really get loaded into your backside, into your back hip. I love it. All right.
I actually feel like Mike Trout's been doing that this year, what we just saw from Royce Lewis. Maybe not quite as extreme, but that's something they were talking about with Trout earlier this season. Well, that's a swing and a miss and dropped by Garver behind the plate. 1-2.
Yeah, wow, looks like that was the foul tip. Let's try the thumb of that catcher's glove.
Well, Lewis tore his right ACL and missed all of 21, and then made his major league debut of May of 2022, and then 12 games later he tore the same ACL again. So he's really been through it. Has had an extensive injury history.
And we talked about getting sent down early this year. Nearly lost his bobblehead night. But after that too, he did have one of these, off-site hitting coaches. Apparently got rid of him when he came back, and he's been simplifying some things. Big leg kick back, and the numbers have shown, but it's a tough out right here. It's a big pitch.
Full count. Lewis doubled earlier today, homered last night, and hit that 107-mile-an-hour screamer off Gilbert's leg his last at bat.
Yeah, a lot of deep counts. Remember, third time through, these guys got some good looks at the variety from Logan Gilbert.
Strike three call. Challenge coming here. Or is it not? No, it's not.
Too late.
Royce Lewis strikes out looking. And the Mariners escape the top of the sixth, holding the lead. Beautiful day at Centennial Park. Mariners 3, the Twins 2. After the game tomorrow, all kids 14 and under can participate in Kids on the Bases. Thanks to Brooks, you can lace up those running shoes, get ready to take a trip around the bases. Mariners.com/tickets. Naylor, first pitch in play to first base. One away. Now Prelip still out there. If I had told you at the end of the first inning that Connor Prelip would record an out in the sixth, would you believe me?
Absolutely not. I thought he was going to be done in that first inning, going 30 plus.
Well, he's done now. But if you're Derek Shelton, you're saying, hey man, way to rebound. He locked him down after the second. It's a one-run game. We've got a pitching change. Travis Adams coming in.
Saturday night, August.
This portion of the game is brought to you by UW Medicine at Harborview, backed by research and innovation. UW Medicine delivers all care at this King County-owned hospital. UW Medicine at Harborview, a higher degree of health care. Connor Freelip, he really settled down after the second inning. He goes into the sixth and allows the 3 runs. Yeah,
he got some help from the Mariners hitters being really aggressive. You saw some of those quick innings, a 5-pitch inning. But hey, he was much better after that rocky first inning, able to get into the 6th.
A lot of first pitch strikes. Travis Adams takes over. Misses high. Well, think about this for Prelip. Ever since Arozarena's home run in the 2nd, he finished the game, Prelip that is, holding Mariners hitters 1 for 12 with a walk. And that that base hit was the Cole Young single that was stranded. 2-0 to Garver. A lot of walks this year for Adams, more than he would like. Very much a fly ball pitcher. Which maybe not a great combination. I walk more guys than I should, and the ball gets hit in the air a lot.
Absolutely not.
And he walks the first man that he sees.
Now the Minnesota Twins added to that bullpen already around this trade deadline. AJ Minter, and again, their bullpen has been a struggle.
And Minter is here. He is active for this game. Another pitch high. So after a 4-pitch walk, Wilson looks at ball 1.
Yeah, really a lot of unknowns in that bullpen, a lot of young pitchers, and trying to establish roles. They really didn't have a closer. We saw Gomez last night. He's kind of taken on that closer's role since joining the team.
Challenge coming here from Caratini. Did that find the corner? It is.
It's overturned. Minnesota has to challenge with my hand.
A strike on the edge. Two and two on Weston Wilson. Yesterday, the Mariners placing J.P. Crawford on the injured list. Today, placing Luke Raley on the IL. Up and in at 96. A little uncomfortable there.
Well, Wilson just getting out of the way. And knowing Adams' the scouting report, it's going to be cutters and sliders down the way, so you're going to lean out over the plate. See how late this ball kind of sped up on him. He was trying to go down and away. He missed.
He's not throwing many strikes. Fouls it back to the glove. Wilson strikes out. 2 down.
Weston Wilson would be frustrated with that. That was a cutter. He had plenty of play. It's kind of went dark on him right when he got to about here when he pulled the trigger. Just missing a foul tip and back into Caratini's glove.
To center field. And that ball is. Do they rule? Yes, they do. They rule it a catch. It is ruled a catch. We'll see if the Mariners disagree. Third base umpire ruled it as a catch. Was it ruled differently? Now, it looks like we have another umpire saying something else. Is that right? Derek Shelton on his way out.
I'm looking out towards third base. Looked like the ball hit. He's signaling the ball hit the ground.
And Jim Wolf looked like maybe saying something else. Let's take a look. Keyshaw coming in.
I think it definitely got some grass. Yeah, it's a hit. It's kind of trapped it, but you can see the ball. And then right in front of it. Yeah, I think, umpire's going to come up with a decision. I think if they call this out, no doubt that Dan Wilson will be challenging. Ooh,
I mean, that is actually kind of hard to tell.
That angle's tough to tell. I mean, I was convinced we got nothing but grass and he just trapped it. The hard thing is what they do initially. If they called it out, makes it difficult. And I think Dan Wilson will ultimately challenge here if they do call it out, get another look at it.
Alan Porter. Porter is the crew chief in at third base, and he ruled it a catch. Looks like a challenge might be coming.
The call on the field is no catch. Runners are at first and second. Minnesota is challenging.
Okay.
All right, so it sounds like it was ruled two different things. An umpire ruled it as a catch. Another ruled it as a no catch.
Right.
Umpires met. They decided it is not a catch, and now the Twins are challenging.
Now I think this really favors the Mariners. The fact that it wasn't called a catch, or excuse me, ruled no catch initially. Oh man, that's tough.
The tip of the glove just kind of disappears into the grass.
I feel like the more we look at it, the more you slow it down.
Here it is in real time. You can understand why there maybe was two different opinions on this ruling. Wow. I mean,
it's tough. You can see Keyshaw's reaction to the fact he threw the ball in. He kind of didn't throw his hands up in the air or argue really, as if to say that he felt like it did hit the ground based off the reaction as he threw that ball into second base.
That is insanely close.
Yeah.
As the webbing, the tip of his glove just kind of crumples into the grass. And that with the shadows there and a black glove, it kind of just all morphs into one.
Yeah, he didn't exactly try and sell it that he caught that ball either. Now again, firing in right away, but usually see the outfielder kind of throw his hands up in the air feeling like he caught that ball.
And guys, if you are Mitch Garver, you have the second base umpire right in front of you, immediately signaling that it was not a catch. So he did the right thing by getting into second base.
After review, the call on the field stands. It is no catch. Minnesota will lose their challenge.
All right. Colt Emerson gets a knock. Call stands. Yeah, that definitely felt like whichever way it was ruled, that's the way it was going to stay. Shelton's got his newest arm warming up. A.J. Minter ready to get some action here. 2 outs and 2 on. Mariners trying to extend the lead. My bad. New toy for the Twins. Just acquired A.J. Minter, who's been one of the more consistent relievers in the National League for a long time. A guy with a little bit of a case of the reverse splits this year. Lefties hitting him for about 70 points higher than righties. Began the year on the injured list, did not debut for the Mets until the back end of May, making his Twins debut here, and he comes on trying to keep this game close. 2 outs and 2 on.
Yeah, you see those splits, and the cutter has been an issue against lefties. Lefties hit 300 against that cutter. And Cole Young is going to see plenty of them. It's been a tough pitch against righties, but not the case left on left.
2 outs, 2 on. Young pops up the first pitch. Kreidler gives way to Lee. Third baseman makes a two-handed catch. Pretty efficient debut for A.J. Minter. The Mariners strand a pair. Tickets on sale now for the Mariners Legends Photo Day VIP experience presented by Daktronics. You can lock in your chance to snag photos with franchise icons like Ichiro, Randy, King Felix, many more. Sunday, August 9th. Mariners.com/50. Gilbert getting near the finish line, beginning the 7th with 90 pitches.
It'd be nice to get him through 7.
This is fair. And it kicks off the short wall. Brooks Lee is into second base immediately. The Twins threatening tying run in scoring position.
First pitch of the inning here in the 7th. And Brooks Lee, you mentioned the fact he's taking ownership of that third base. And a ton of contact. This is what he does really well. Make really good contact. Leading off with a double.
And we got a bunch of right-handers in the bottom of this order with one switch hitter. That's Caratini, who's on deck. Rucker is warming up. Spire just starting to get up. Corners are in. Bunt dropped down. Wilson by the mound. Keyshaw gives himself up. It makes it feel like someone is down, even though there's not been a heavy workload necessarily as of late for the leverage guys as we look at this sac bunt.
Oh, Keyshaw, look, he's been a guy who's been an issue last night and then tonight, hitting the home run today, excuse me. Last night hitting that double to take the bat out of his hands. Playing for that tie right now. But yeah, you mentioned the fact that you got Michael Rucker up here in a really tough spot. You get a mound visit. Mitch Garver wants to talk it over. How they're going to go about Caratini.
Oh, so you got Caratini here, switch hitter. Kreidler and Martin to follow. Both are right-handers. Couple of lefties on the bench for the Twins, plus the switch hitting Josh Bell. But Bizzardo and Ferrer both throwing yesterday. Ferrer 15 pitches, Bizzardo 23. Well, this would normally be a spot where we would see Bizzardo come in with a right-handed pocket. The lefties are more at the top of the order for the Twins, so Bizzardo possibly down today. Infield is in, 1 out. Strike 1.
Okay, 93 pitches deep. You know about the bullpen limitations. You look over your shoulder, you see obviously Michael Rucker warming up. And for Logan Gilbert, you can't get too big. And what I mean by that is looking to try and get through this inning, just take one pitch at a time. So I think Mitch Garver was coming out to the mound just to remind Logan Gilbert. Get Caratini first, then we'll move on from there.
Tie and run 90 feet away with 1 out. A little squibber. Wilson only play to first base. This game is tied.
And just enough. Again, we talked about the issues with the Mariners. Put the ball in play with runners in scoring position. And again, the Twins, not the best swing, little swing and bunt right there. Weston Wilson really has no shot. You gotta look from this angle. If he has a shot of not going home to Mitch Garver. Gets a short out at first base. The game is tied.
2 outs, bases empty for Kreidler. This ball just past Naylor into right field. He is making an aggressive turn. One hip hop strike and not in time. You wonder the tag must have been missed there from Emerson. The throw looked like it beat him. We'll see if the Mariners want